Disclaimer: the views and opinions in this video are mine alone. You may or may not agree. Please enjoy the video.
Hello everybody, Lucky Magics, another day, another video. But today's video, I wanted to talk about PvP system in 7 Deadly Sins and also in RSL Legends. Now, by no means I am saying which one is better or which one sucks or anything like that. I'm just a gamer and I enjoy video games. So I figured, you know what, 7 Deadly Sins is a game that I've been playing for a little bit, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. Yes, it is a very different type of PvP system from RSL Legends. So I just wanted to do a comparison, bring that to your guys' attention, and hey, maybe you might like it, you might not. Because honestly, you know, I gotta be honest to myself and to the audience, obviously, but RSL Legends is starting to get kind of boring for me, especially with the PvP system, because once you hit that wall in Gold 4 that you just can't break out, you're stuck there because, you know, I'm not trying to use the excuse that other people have better champions or anything like that, but it's just, you just hit this wall where you just can't break through, right? And it's not really your fault. Sometimes it could be your gear, it could be the champions you have, and yes, I guess it could be your fault. You might not know what you're doing as well as other players, so there's a lot involved with that, right? But the thing though is that once you hit that wall, it gets a little boring, and you know, sometimes you want to do something else. And while this is the key point, while you're working on your team to get through that wall, right? So I'm not saying give up on raid or give up on anything that's difficult. It's just, hey, because I've been playing Dragon Champion, Calibria, or whatever that game's called, for a little bit, and I just didn't like it, so I stopped playing it. But for some reason, 7 Deadly Sins PvP has kept my attention. So I figured, hey, it's worth sharing. So let's check it out, and let's do a little comparison video. Okay, so we have to address unit design and gameplay graphics real quick, because I feel like when it comes to these mobile games, it is critical for them to get this right. Now, I know most people will say you can't even compare RSL Legends to 7 Deadly Sins because they're completely different art styles, which is true. But I do want to say that RSL Legends, yes, it goes for that realistic look and they do it very good, and that's partly and hugely why people say RSL Legends is very successful, right? Because a lot of people like the way the game looks. Now for 7 Deadly Sins, yes, you might not like the anime style, but for people that do like anime style games, I think it hits it right on the head. They did a very good job, and I can't really say which one I like better, because to me they're both very good. They're very different, and I could appreciate both of them for what it is. So for me, it's a hard choice to pick which one I like better. But there's one thing that I do like better about 7 Deadly Sins compared to RSL Legends when it solely comes to PvP content, when we're talking about unit design and gameplay graphics. What I like about 7 Deadly Sins is that you could customize your characters. Now these outfits do add different stats to your characters, so you know, some are better than other in that aspect. But when it comes to PvP, when it comes to arena, anything that's very competitive, it is nice to do it in style, right? You want to be recognized, you want to be like, hey, this is how I design my team, my character. So I think that's really cool. That's something you could do in 7 Deadly Sins. Not saying it's better than RSL Legends, just wanted to point that out, because for some people that might be the turning point where you're like, you know what, I might try this game out. For me, I think it's cool to have something like that in the game. It adds a touch, it adds that extra layer of, you know, a reason to play the game. So anyways, that is it for this subject, and on to the next one. Okay, so let's start off by talking about the structure and design of Arena between these two games. So you can see right here, we are on the battle tab for RSL Legends, and you can see, if you guys play this game, you already know, this is where you could come through and pick who you want to fight. Now, if you don't like any of these teams, then you could just refresh, and hopefully you get a better roll of teams that is more suitable for your team composition. But in 7 Deadly Sins, you do not have that option. So when it comes to this game, the layout for Arena tab opponent selection is very simple, you can see, and you could also do cool things like eat some food to buff up your stats. You could pick, you know, certain dishes, and you can also level up your dishes, right? So I think that's a pretty cool feature. And also, it's a live action, right? So once you hit search, you're going up against, you don't know what team composition, you don't know who you're going to face. Now, most of the time it will be other human beings on the other end of these battles, but sometimes if you can't connect to another person, it does just offer up some bots for you to face off, so that way you'll always have PvP available to you, right? So one of the biggest difference in this game is that you cannot pick who you're going to go up against. You will never know till you're in the fight. In RSL Legends, you can pick your team, so that gives you a little bit more flexibility. But I have to say though, going up against real life people is way more intense than going against preset teams that other people made, right? If that makes sense. And speaking of preset teams, another key difference between RSL Legends and 7 Deadly Sins is the fact that you have pretty much two teams when it comes to arena in RSL Legends. You have the defensive team where you want to defend pretty much your position in the game, right? The purpose of the defensive team is to make sure you get to hold the tier that you want to stay in, right? Because if you put a crappy champion in here, you're going to easily climb down. A comp like this will get destroyed, and I'll probably end up in Gold 3 within like a day or two, right? Not even, it might be faster in most cases. So that's the, pretty much the reason why RSL Legend has a defensive team. And obviously your offensive team is to take down these champions and face off, right? But when it comes to 7 Deadly Sins, the ranking system is a little bit different, but pretty similar, right? So let's check it out. So you have two categories. You have Elite, which I'm gonna tell you right now, Elite is tough. These guys in this category are absolute beasts. I tried 5 times, and you can see right here, I won 0 times, 0% win rate. Pretty bad, right? But anyways, the second tier is Normal. Now in Normal, I fought total of 78 battles, and I have a win rate of 85.9%, which I think is pretty decent. I just started out this game, so I'm still learning. But the cool thing about the ranking system, right, is you will never have to worry about going down in your festival points, I guess, in your tier level, because the way it works is you fight, you win, you accumulate points, and if you lose, that's the only way you'll lose your ranking points is by losing. When you lose, you go down, right? So if you just want to sit here all week and collect your weekly awards, you're like, okay, I'm Go 3 right now. Am I cool with collecting 30 diamonds? And I'm not sure what this chest is because I never got it because I just started this game, but I'm pretty sure it's equipment, just probably the same resources you will get in RSL Legends type things, right? So if you're cool with this, you can just sit here all week and you don't have to worry about it. So I have like 1 day, you can see right here, 1 day to collect it. So in that essence, this is very different because in Raid you have to defend your position, right? And in this game you do not have to do that. So that might be attractive to some people and it might not be attractive to some people. But you can see like champion, so the ranking system pretty much goes from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and all the way up to master. Okay, and then for elite, you can see right here, you could go also all the way up to rank 1. Well, yeah, position 1. Pretty much means you are the alpha of all PvP content, right? Right now I'm in gold 5, so I kind of suck. I am like nothing, but yeah. So it goes right here, boom, 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 and 1, right? So you break. So I guess so you see right here, champion, challenger. I guess you're trying to get into this. So this is like the top 100 players in the game, going all the way up to 1. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And you can see right here, you get 6,000 token points. So the cool thing also about this game is you could take your token points and you can actually buy some gear with it, right? So you got bronze. Then you can only buy gear within your ranking. So I'm at gold, so I could buy items all the way up to gold. But obviously if I want to buy something in platinum, I need to reach platinum and then I'll be able to buy some gear that way. So that's pretty cool, right? They have different features. Yo, look at this. These are some really cool weapons right here. These are like top-notch cosmetic weapons too, right? So, and you could also refresh and get different stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool that you could actually buy pretty decent gear with your tokens from Arena. I wish RSL Legends had that, but they do not. And right here is your Hall of Fame. right? Rank 1, elite, rank 1. So Mega Shield is the person to beat, I guess. Okay? So you can see completely different, but very similar features, right? So yeah, now let's talk about the gameplay. So when it comes to gameplay, both of these games are fun, but they do it in a completely different style. So when it comes to Raid Shadow Legends, it's pretty much speed based, right? Not saying speed is meta, but what I'm saying is speed is what determines who goes first. So if Arbiter has the highest speed, she'll go first, and then so on and so on, all the way to the lowest, right? So it doesn't matter what team you're on. If you have the higher speed, you're going to go first, right? Individually. But when it comes to 7 Deadly Sins, so how they do it is pretty much whoever has the higher team power. If you have the higher team power, you will be going first, but you will need to use all your cards. Now, it doesn't mean every champion needs to go. It's just you have to use your cards. You have to use 3 of them in order for you to end your turn, and then the next team will go, right? And you have a little counter here, so you have to do it within a certain time limit. So it's almost like a game of chess, right? You have to use your cards in certain order. You have to pick out which of these champions or units, whatever heroes you could take out first to make their team synergies to start to fall apart. You want to start picking them off, things like that. And at the same time, you need to keep in mind you need to build up your ultimate, because if you build up your ultimate, you have a higher chance of winning. So 7 Deadly Sins is a very strategic chess type style, and I'm not saying Raid is not a very strategic style. It's just, for the most part, if you have a very good team composition, you can just hit auto and go through it, right? But now when you start reaching platinum, when you get into the higher content for Raid Shadow Legends, yes, you need to focus more, because even though you are going against, I guess, pre-made teams, they could still wreck you if you're not picking or making good decisions throughout the game, right? So arena for both games is pretty intense and it's fun, but I would just have to say, when it comes to 7 Deadly Sins though, it is more random and more intense for me, because you know you're playing against someone else on the other end of this game, and it's very random, and it is, I'm not going to say it's more fair, but it does feel more like you have a chance, because it's always going to be player decision, player input, versus in Raid Shadow Legends, sometimes you can have the best player input, but if you just don't have what it takes to get through it, you just can't do it, right? And it can be the same for 7 Deadly Sins. Not saying there's not a bottleneck or choke point for this game either, but one of the good things about 7 Deadly Sins is that player acquisition is so much easier. What I mean by player acquisition is that it is so easy to get these champions. Now, I've been playing this game for maybe 2 weeks, and I think I spent about $100 on this game. Already, I have pretty much what people will consider the best champions for arena. Right now, the selection in this game is a lot smaller compared to Raid Shadow Legends, but the way you build them out, and that's like a whole nother subject when it comes to equipment and the way you gear them. But yes, each champion has certain, cards, abilities, and you have to have good synergy, but it's random, right? So even if you have the best champion in the game, since the way the game works and the gameplay works, you still have a fighting chance. And I really think that's one of the best features of 7 Deadly Sins, because one, is easy to get the champions, and just because you have the champions doesn't mean you're going to win. Yeah, it's kind of like that with Raid 2, where you got to have the best gear or the best champions or you're not going to win. But with this one, acquiring those items is rather easy, and it doesn't feel so bad when you lose, because you're not gonna say, man, I'm free to play, so I'll never be able to play platinum. In this game, yes, free to play versus Wells will always be at a certain advantage or disadvantage, but I feel like that sting, that bitterness that you get from Raid Shadow Legends sometimes is not as strong in 7 Deadly Sins. Now, I'm not trying to say this game is better. I'm just saying that's how I felt when I'm playing arena, right? Sometimes when you lose in Raid Shadow Legends, you're just like, dang, man, I got destroyed. I don't even know what to do. I can't keep up. But in 7 Deadly Sins, it's more like, crap, I know I made a bad decision. That was my fault. That's why I lost. So for me, that is a big difference when you're taking an L, right? Sometimes you lose and you learn from it, and sometimes you lose and there's nothing you could do. So I just wanted to point that out. Alright, so it is time to wrap up this video. So how do you guys feel about Arena? Now, I know this video maybe didn't cover every single angle. I was trying to make this video as short as possible, but informative as possible at the same time. If you guys want to know more, let me know. I could do another video on this subject and really break it down a little bit further, maybe in series or episodes, right? But overall though, man, I really enjoy both of these games because RSL Legends, yes, like it's a fun game, but sometimes you run out of resources, and even in 7 Deadly Sins, it's a fun game, but you run out of resources, right? And you just want to do something different. You want to have that filler, and I feel like 7 Deadly Sins is a perfect game to fill that void when you can't play RSL Legends, or when you just want to take a break from it because, you know, if you keep playing the same thing and you stress yourself out, you're going to lose enjoyment. So it's nice to walk away sometimes. So I really think out of all the mobile games that came out recently, 7 Deadly Sins Arena, and in a weird way, it does kind of compare really close to RSL Legends. So maybe that's why I like it. But for me though, knowing that I'm facing off someone on the opposite end and it's a real person just kind of adds that intensity to it. And also another key feature I forgot to mention in the video is that you could friends list people and go head to head with those people. You could be like, hey, you know what, you've been talking crap, let's go PvP right now, me and you, right? So I think that's really cool. It's a fun game. Both games are really fun, very different but same and similar in certain ways. So I think most people will enjoy it. Now, if the only thing that's holding you back is the whole anime thing, I'm not trying to say get over it, but if you got over that, I think you'll find yourself enjoying a very good game, a very nice game. A little bit, well, I don't know if it's a little bit more, but it is definitely free to play, friendlier than RSL Legends, and also this is a new game, global release. So it's been around in Japan for a while, but they're going to build upon this game, and it's probably going to keep going. And you know, it'll be another great mobile game that will probably stick around for a while. So if you're looking for something else, I highly recommend picking up 7 Deadly Sins. No, this isn't sponsored or anything. I'm doing this on my own accord, and yeah, pretty much yeah, that's the video. Both games are awesome. Okay, so let's leave it as that, and you guys take care, be safe. I know it's crazy out there, this COVID-19, corona, China virus, whatever you want to use to describe it, it is not good for all of us, right? So let's not get into anything crazy. Let's be safe, let's take care of one another, and please take care of yourself so you can enjoy another video from Loki Magics. So till then, guys, talk to you later. Peace.
Perfect.